at the top of the food chain here. Seeing a healthy sea turtle means this reef habitat that supports him is likely healthy as well. I truly enjoy the experience of scuba diving. This technology gives people the chance to explore the oceans like never before by going deeper and staying longer. And it truly helps me appreciate how connected our two worlds are, the one above and the one below the waves. Until we meet again, I'll see you next time only on Ocean Mysteries.
San Francisco's Summer of Love, tonight at 7 on KRON 4. Due to KRON 4's coverage of Fleet Week, today's regularly scheduled children's programming will air on Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4. KRON 4 is giving you the best seat in the house for a live air show. This is the Blue Angels live on KRON 4.
Great shot that is. That's one of the Navy leapfrog skydivers jumping from the sky with a C-130 flying just above him, heading toward the Marina Green. Welcome to our special broadcast of Blue Angels Live. I'm your host, Ken Wayne, along with Laura Einsetler from an airline background. We're going to find out more about that in a little bit, but welcome aboard. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for having me join.
We also have some help out in the field with our own Kate Rooney, who's down along the waterfront, down at Aquatic Pier. Kate, a lot of action just starting to really get underway down there. Tell us what's going on.
Hey, Ken. Hey, Laura. Well, first of all, we couldn't have gotten better weather for this air show today. It's absolutely beautiful out here. We can see just across the water that Aquatic Park is absolutely packed. We can hear the people cheering on the Marina Green, packed over there as well. And out here at Municipal Pier, this pier is packed with people, too, the people who are going to help make this air show happen. If you look just over to my right here, you'll see rows and rows of audio technicians, people with the FAA, all sorts of designations and agencies who are out here to assist with all the stunts and acts that we're going to see today. Everything from the Patriots jet team to Fat Albert, the Blue Angels, Lucas Oil planes, all sorts of things. We're going to be bringing it all to you here today. I'm hoping to talk with a bunch of different people who will help explain all the action going on in the air, and it's just going to be a great experience. Beautiful weather, a lot of good moods out here today, and as you can see behind me, a lot of people who are lucky enough to have boats are out there on the water enjoying the show from that vantage point. So should be a good one out here, and we're going to check back in with you a lot throughout the show, I hope.
All right, Kate, absolutely looking forward to it. Thank you very much. We want to get to those pictures of these pits. The pit is really an amazing aircraft. I know you have a lot of experience with air shows. We're going to show you what those planes are doing. Tell us what a pit is. It's a biplane, right?
It's pits, and I'm not exactly sure what model Lucas Oil is flying right now, but they're amazing aerobatic aircraft. They're so versatile. You can do so many different things with them, and very powerful, high thrust to weight ratio, so you can get maneuvers like this in.
I can't even imagine the G-forces they might be pulling in a plane like that. And just so you know what a G-force is, G stands for gravity, right? So,
that's right.
So if you experience 2 Gs and you weigh 150 pounds, you feel like you weigh 300 pounds, right?
That's right.
So some of these planes, I know the Blue Angels pull up close to 7 Gs. So, you know, that 150-pound person would feel like they weigh closer to 1,000 pounds.
Right.
So that's really amazing. Tell me a little bit about your background. You did a lot with air shows.
Well, I used to fly aerobatics, and I was an air show director for Wanda Collins Air Shows, and had a chance to work with several of the performers that you see here today. And it was just exciting times to be able to share aviation love with everyone, all of you out there.
The smoke that we see coming out the back, I don't know if you know how that works. My understanding is it's a little mineral oil canister or something like that that kind of drips in, and it's heated, and it comes out. It's not really a toxic kind of smoke when we think of smoke like exhaust.
And we've actually increased the environmental factors of the aerobatic smoke as well.
But the cool thing about it is that it lets you trace the plane as it's going through flight, and it just looks great to see those graceful arcs and turns and twists with the smoke trailing behind.
And just like in the Patriots, they had the red, white, and blue smoke, so you can actually color the smoke as well.
You know, we just saw him do that upside-down loop. I was talking about G-forces, but there's also negative Gs too, right?
That's right. That's where you lift up off your seat, so you're kind of negative G, floating like an astronaut.
Very cool. Very cool. The day is just couldn't be any better. Clear blue skies, a couple high clouds, wispy up there. Gives you a sense of perspective when they zoom across the sky. You have a stationary object behind, which is a cloud, that gives you a sense of just how fast they're moving. Remember that movie, The Aviator, about Howard Hughes and how he was demanding to have clouds in the shots when the planes were flying, because you couldn't tell how fast they're going with nothing but clear blue sky behind them. If you have a little bit of a cloud, it gives you a sense of perspective.
Right, you have relativity. Just
Exactly.
like, as we see the islands in the background and the bridge as well and the boats.
These guys travel all over the country, and we were talking earlier before we went on the air about where Fleet Week's air show stands in comparison to other big air shows across the country. And you said this is pretty much the top of the heap.
It is. It's definitely one of the best shows out there, and sponsored by United Airlines to bring you all these excellent performances today, that we get to all enjoy this beautiful day and all this aviation joy.
So when you talk to people who are at air shows across the country and San Francisco comes up, what do they say? What do they think?
Well, the Fleet Week, so you have all week long, we get to see the boats and celebrate the military and all the service, and also aviation for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
But the pilots, I would imagine it's pretty exciting to, on a normal day flying around San Francisco, you can't do this. You can't fly like this. And to be able to do loops and spins and turns over Alcatraz and right next to the Golden Gate Bridge as a pilot, that's got to be like really, really cool, right?
It's really cool to be able to have all these different points and marks that you can use for your aerobatics.
Tell me about this maneuver right here. This is really interesting. What is that?
It's a side slip. So he has it's cross controlling right now and just keeping it at the same altitude. And now, of course, the high speed climb.
Just the power to get that plane to go vertical like that. It's like a rocket.
That's right. The thrust to weight ratio, because you have those really powerful, that engine and those propellers with the really light, very maneuverable aircraft.
Airframe is super light, but super strong, because talk about the stress put on the wings. I'm a private pilot. I fly a single engine Cessna. I would never think about doing anything. First of all, I don't think it's allowed in my aircraft. It'd be illegal for me to do it. But the stress that would put on my plane versus a plane like this is it's built for a completely different task.
Well, it depends on the maneuver, Ken. You could do barrel rolls in yours and spins. Maybe not a loop, I don't think, or hammerhead.
But the stress on the wings, because of the G's that this thing's pulling. I mean, this has to be. These planes are certified by the FAA for specific limitations on what they can do. Is that right?
That's correct. You never want to overstress the aircraft, the wings. These performers, they have constant safety inspections and checks to make sure that the aircrafts are always in top condition.
Do you know if those are aluminum or they're composite? Do you know what
Most of the time it's a composite, kind of a combination. So you have the fuselage with some lighter, almost like fabric wings.
Right.
Right.
Okay. And we're going to be talking about composite aircraft a little bit later, because the military is using composite aircraft now because of the radar signatures and the things that they're doing to avoid detection by the enemy. And so these new sophisticated planes, they're not so much metal anymore. They're composite so that they don't reflect a radar image.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're also lighter.
Okay, we're going to Amy. Go ahead and tell me what we're doing next. We're going to go to the Navy parachute team.
The leapfrogs.
This is how the whole show started today. They call them the leapfrogs. The Army has the Golden Knights, and the Navy has the leapfrogs, and here they are dropping in. They were let out high above San Francisco Bay. I don't know what they jump out at. Usually it's around 10,000, 12,000 feet.
Pretty high.
It depends.
But for the performance, I'm sure they start off a little bit lower so we can see them.
Right. That's right. 10,000 feet away, looking up, they'd just be little dots if you could even even find them out there. It's really amazing, especially when on a windy day, to try to get these guys down here. It's windy often here in the Bay Area, but luckily today it isn't, and they're dropping down to a drop spot in the Marina Green that's I don't know, less than a quarter the size of a football field. It's not a very big area.
It's just a grass strip, really, along the bay.
Right.
We had a chance to watch them yesterday. Drop right in, spot perfect.
Right. That's what kills me is these guys come down from however high they are, and then they drop, I mean, within inches of where they wanted to land.
That's right. That's skill.
All right, here we go. This is one of the planes we've been waiting to see, and I don't think we had this last year. This is an F-35. It is brand new this year, I'm being told. And both of us don't know much about this plane because
Well,
it's so new.
it's an excellent air show demonstration aircraft for sure. And it's so amazing and versatile, and it's the new technology.
Well, I was just reading up a little bit about it. It's an $80 million plane, and the military has ordered about 2,000 of them, I think, to go across all branches of service, which is another thing that's unique about this plane, because you think of military aircraft, and usually a certain kind of aircraft, specifically a fighter jet, is attached to one branch of service. So the Navy has the FA-18, that's the Blue Angels aircraft, the Hornet. The Air Force flies the Thunderbirds, their demonstration team. They fly the F-16, don't they? F-16, which is actually a single-seat plane, and then the Marine Corps, they'll usually fly what the Navy flies. So yeah, they break them up. The F-15 and the F-16 are Air Force, the F-14, the F-18 are Navy, but the F-35, this plane right here, and you can see the bomb bay doors are open on the underside. So I know they can carry bombs, they can carry missiles. And they can also carry a drop tank, so that would extend their fuel range, and they can go about twice the speed of sound, somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think it was around 1,300 miles an hour. Speed of sound is roughly 700 miles an hour, right? So I think it's 1.6 or 7 Mach, so more than a time and a half the speed of sound. And the surfaces of the plane, we're talking about the composite, and that is basically the angles of the airframe and the composite material are designed to avoid radar detection.
Yeah, and also to keep the aircraft light, so it burns less fuel. They have more extended range that way, so it's really helpful. And the composites are so strong nowadays.
It's like a resin, an epoxy resin mixed in with the fabric. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, it's almost like a honeycomb.
Right.
So it's lightweight, but it's really strongly structured.
But it also presents, we can hear it now.
There he goes. That vertical.
Straight up and almost disappearing out of camera range. The only way we can tell he's there is by the sound of the jet engine, which is amazingly powerful.
Super power.
Yeah, that thing is literally like a rocket, just going straight up. All right, so that's a good way to wrap up the first segment here with the vanishing act of the F-35. First time it's been here at Blue Angels Live. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more. Stay with us.
KRON 4's Blue Angels Live, brought to you by Vets in Tech, proud to support veterans into tech careers. Kitchen Fantastic, fall in love with your kitchen again. Macy's, America's store for life. A1 Guaranteed, proudly serving the Bay Area for over 20 years. Iron Horse, stylish home decor at affordable prices. Xfinity, stream fast and watch better with Xfinity. Porcelanosa, live beautifully.
Finally, some math you're really going to like. Xfinity Internet and Mobile, each for $30 a month. That equals awesome Wi-Fi from America's best internet provider and the best LTE on the go. It's the ultimate coverage solution. It's all in the numbers. With Xfinity Mobile, you'll save up to $800 a year on your wireless bill. You can even get $250 back. Don't miss out on Xfinity Internet and Mobile, each for $30 a month. Plus, save up to $800 a year on your wireless bill with Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity makes saving simple, easy, awesome. Click, call, or visit a store today.
It's the dawn of a new day. Will today be like any other? Or a day that turns our world upside down? No one really knows. Because after a damaging earthquake, the dawn we woke up to this morning could look completely different come tomorrow. Protect your home with earthquake insurance from the California Earthquake Authority. Learn more at earthquakeauthority.com.
It drifts into our lives. Exposing us to risk we never asked for. To some, it may seem harmless, but there's no such thing as safe secondhand smoke.
Don't pass up 765 Beach Street in downtown San Francisco. Approximately 9,000 square feet of retail, gallery, showroom space, all available for lease. For more information, go to 765beach.com or contact Tom Christian, Cushman & Wakefield.
Welcome back to Blue Angels Live as the car alarms go buzzing along the Embarcadero after that F-35 just blasted us, flying low and fast.
That's right.
It's a thrill. I mean, it really kind of, if you're an aviation geek like we are,
Yes.
I mean, and we're totally geeking out here on this, it's fun.
And we're trying to make you aviation geeks,
That's
too.
right. We'll talk about trying to get people interested in flying because I think that's a big deal, especially women like you being pilots. That's very cool. Let's go down to Kate Rooney. There's the F-35. She's down along the water with the Navy Public Affairs Officer to talk about the Blue Angels. Kate, if you...
Yeah, that's right. I'm joined by Lieutenant Commander David Gardner of the Blue Angels. He's the Public Affairs Officer for the team, and I think we'll start by just giving our viewers and fans of the air show a little bit of an overview of the Blue Angels. How did this unit get established, and when did this all start up?
So the Blue Angels have been flying since 1946. All right, we were established by Admiral Chester Nimitz right after the Second World War as a way to educate the American public about naval aviation. So we're now in our 73rd year.
Tell us a little bit about a typical year for the Blue Angels. What kinds of things do you do, not just Fleet Weeks, right?
Absolutely. So this year we're going to fly at 32 different show sites throughout the U.S. and Canada. And our season actually starts in January with winter training out in El Centro, California. We're out there for about 2.5 months. And then the show season kicks off in mid-March, and runs through mid-November. And then the whole cycle starts over again.
I know something I've always wondered is how the Blue Angels got their name. Where did that come from?
So the Blue Angels, when they first picked their name, it was at I guess out of the New Yorker magazine during an air show, and somebody said, "Oh, that's a cool name." I guess the Blue Angels was actually the name of a nightclub in New York, and somebody said, "Oh, that's a cool name. Let's go with that." And the rest is history.
It sure stuck, it sounds like. All right, how does someone become a Blue Angel? Because this is not just your standard naval pilot. This is a really specialized form of flying, right?
Well, absolutely. So the maneuvers that you're going to see today are all taught to prospective naval aviators. So they're not tricks or they're not stunts, but these are actual maneuvers that would be used in combat arena. To become a Blue Angel, we say we all have come from the fleet and we're all going to go back to the fleet. So the people who you're watching perform today, they've already done service in the fleet. They've been on gray ships, they've flown gray aircraft, and a lot of the pilots have deployments already under their belt. And when you apply for the team, there's a pretty rigorous interview process that you have to go through. And then once you're on the team, you serve for anywhere between 2 and 4 years.
What is the training process like in terms of learning the maneuvers and being able to get to a level where you can perform them at actual air shows?
So a lot of the training already happens in the fleet. Like I said, you know, these maneuvers are taught to all prospective naval aviators. And then when you come to the Blue Angels, we work on refining those maneuvers, flying them a little bit lower, a little bit slower than you do in the fleet, just to keep the jets in front of the crowd for a little bit longer, so everyone can enjoy the show. But we do train quite a bit in El Centro, which is our winter training venue, just in Southern California. We're out there for about 2.5 months, and that's flying 3 times a day for 6 days a week. So it's pretty intense, but that's really where the bulk of the training comes from and where the team really starts to form up and start to gel for the upcoming air show season.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to talk to you a little bit more here today, later, about some of the actual specifics of the jets and the logistics of the maneuvers. But for now, we'll let you get back to watching the show. Thank you so much. And Laura, back to you guys.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. It's really interesting if you've been around airports a lot, which you obviously are all the time, especially a military airport, when you're talking to somebody and you have military jets flying around like that. It gets to a point where you have a conversation and then you just stop and stare at each other as this thing goes screaming overhead, because there's no point in even trying to have a conversation.
Well, and everyone's looking at the jet anyway because we're all excited.
Right. So Kate's talking, and then for a couple times there, I couldn't hear what he was saying because of that F-35. Maybe it was just my earpiece, but anyway, it's kind of funny. I've been in those situations where you're like, just nod at each other and just wait for the plane to go by, and that's good. All right, I understand that we're going to go to the Patriots while we're looking at the F-35 go through this steep dive and flatten out. Oh, guys, it's an amazing sight, isn't it? The technology involved in these things.
Yeah, I mean, that roll rate is incredible.
All right, so here's the Patriots, and you were talking earlier about the colored smoke and so on, but tell me about this team again. These are they're flying the L-39s?
These are the L-39 jets. It's a 6-ship elite formation aerobatic jet team. All of these pilots have been previous Blue Angels or Thunderbirds, and it was the vision of Randy Howell who wanted to put together a team like this, and they're sponsored by Method 7. And they're incredible. They're your home team, jet team, based right here in the United States. I mean, the Bay Area.
Aren't they out at Byron Airport, I think?
Yeah,
they're
that's
out at Byron, out near Discovery Bay. So, and that was interesting. You don't often see a jet do that, where they go up and then they kind of stall out and fall backwards.
Not usually, because of the reverse airflow in the turbine engines. Can be a real challenge. You don't want to actually flame out your engine.
So what we're looking at is the Patriot jet team on the left. That was a little bit earlier today, and then that's a live picture on the right with the F-35. So two kind of different generations of aircraft as well. The L-39's been around for quite a while.
That's right.
And the F-35 is brand new.
Correct. And you can see how they have the different split-off maneuvers, and with the red, white, and blue smoke for the patriotic theme, especially for today, for military and dedication.
The F-35 is still something that we're all trying to figure out what its capabilities are. It's a brand new jet. It's a very expensive plane. It's about $80 million each, as I mentioned. The thing about this that makes it interesting for the Navy is, now it's going to link up
there's
with
the P-51
and you flew the P-51.
Yes.
So tell us about that. That's a World War II era fighter.
That's right, and it was absolutely a bucket list. I just always had dreamed about being able to fly in a P-51, and I was able to fly with the Collings Foundation, the P-51D model, so I could actually log time in it. It was just incredible with those Merlin engine, 12 cylinders. There's a reason why they call it Mustang, because it just wants to run.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell me about some of its performance characteristics. How fast can it go?
Oh, it's incredibly fast. I mean, you can just take the hand off the stick and it just accelerates on its own, because it's going.
But back in World War II, I think the top speed of any fighter plane was close to 300-400 miles an hour. I can't remember.
Yeah,
do you know?
Absolutely.
Somewhere in that range?
Right, because it's like a little missile on its own.
Right. Okay, that was the P-51, a World War II era plane flying with the military's latest and greatest, the F-35. There's so much more we're going to get into. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere. You have the best seat in the house. More Blue Angels Live coming up on KRON 4.
A generation of young people in the Haight-Ashbury waved a rebellious flag in the face of mainstream America and tried to create a new world order.
San Francisco's Summer of Love, tonight at 7 on KRON 4. Brought to you by Energy Upgrade California. Keep it golden.
Is your heating and cooling keeping you comfortable? There's a simple fix for that. Well, simple for us. We're A1 Guaranteed Heating and Air, your home performance experts. We've done residential service, maintenance, and installations for over 23 years, and we're a Bay Area certified green business. So if you want fast, reliable, efficient service, just call us and ask about how you can take advantage of up to $5,000 in cash incentives and great financing options. But hurry before rebates run out. A1 Guaranteed Heating and Air, the simple fix.
I'm Jeff Gannett, CEO of Macy's. Your Macy's store has been given a fresh look, and you are at the heart of it. Because you want more of what you love about Macy's. You want fashion that inspires you, help finding the perfect look or the perfect gift. You want an experience that is more fun and more convenient. We're doing it all because Macy's is committed to our customers. And we're here to help find the remarkable you.
Hi everybody, my name is Bob. My brother Jerry and I have been running Wheels and Deals for over 48 years. And we are so busy that
We're so busy I can't even be in my own commercial!
You're in your own commercial right now.
That's how busy we are. But we've always got time for you. Whether it's buying, selling, whatever your needs are, you come see us at Wheels and Deals. Open 7 days a week on the El Camino in Santa Clara. 408-246-1000.
Wheels and Deals, good deal better for you.
More and more people are going to KRON On.
I wake up, turn on KRON On, and start getting caught up on the news.
It only costs $3 a month, and as cord cutters, we're saving hundreds of dollars making the switch.
The KRON On app, available now in the App Store. The Red and Gold Zone, a weekly look into everything Niners.
You will go through rough patches. You got to deal with it.
The Red and Gold Zone, tonight at 9 on KRON 4. Now, back to the air show and Blue Angels Live.
That's right, I'm boss. We've had about 32 bosses on the Blue Angels in the 73 years we've been around, and I have the honor and privilege of being one of them.
It is the boss. He is the boss. He's the commanding officer of the Blue Angels unit. He's here right now. In fact, he's getting ready to fly here in a few minutes because not only is he the boss, sometimes the boss doesn't get to do anything. They're the boss. But he gets to fly.
He's the coordinator, making sure, cracking the whip.
You've worked with bosses before as an air show liaison, coordinator, and all of that. What are these bosses like?
Well, the air show bosses really are the coordinators to make sure that everything is going smoothly, everyone has what they need, you know, running around constantly working. So they make it happen.
They make it happen, and we're going to hear what this boss has to say. Take a listen.
I am Captain Eric Doyle. I'm the commanding officer and flight leader of the Blue Angels. Well, when I'm in the air, I'm the flight leader. So as we said a moment ago, I'm the commanding officer and flight leader. So I get to lead the formations around the demonstration. So you see the number 1 on the tail. That's my position in the demonstration in the Delta. And so most of the time you'll see me out front leading either the diamond or the entire Delta formation. Been in the Navy for 24 years. We get to spend 2 to 3 years here with the team, and then we'll go back to gray jets, gray ships, submarines, and go back and do our real mission there in the Navy and Marine Corps. It's been extraordinary. I mean, we get to come to beautiful places like Oakland and San Francisco and fly over the beautiful Bay of San Francisco. It's just, it's awe-inspiring. Not to mention, we're humbled to get to represent the over 800,000 men and women out there doing the mission right now in the Navy and Marine Corps. They're out there on the other side of the world right now, landing on an aircraft carrier at night. And I actually got to watch the Blue Angels up here at Fleet Week early in my career. And just as I started flying the F-18, I got to watch the Blue Angels fly F-18s here. And it's really special. Watched them out there at Pier 39, and I was walking around the Pier 39 area yesterday with my family, and I could definitely, I remember that moment, watching the planes fly by and see the gold helmets as I stood there and watched. Now I'm on the other side. It's hard to put that into words.
How cool is it to have a dream and then make it happen?
Absolutely. Both of us have.
Yeah.
We're lucky.
We're both flying, and we're trying to encourage other people to get involved in aviation as well. Coming up, we're going to have you talk about Sean Tucker and the Oracle team, which is one of the best out there.
The best out there.
We're going to talk to Sean Tucker, and we're going to see him perform live when we come back. Stay with us.
More amazing aerobatics coming up on KRON 4's Blue Angels Live. KRON 4's Blue Angels Live, brought to you by Vets in Tech, proud to support veterans into tech careers. Kitchen Fantastic, fall in love with your kitchen again. Macy's, America's store for life. A1 guaranteed, proudly serving the Bay Area for over 20 years. Iron Horse, stylish home decor at affordable prices. Xfinity, stream fast and watch better with Xfinity. Porcelanosa, live beautifully.
Could you be tempted to enjoy 2 days of tasting exceptional world-class wines from over 80 local wineries, paired with locally grown produce, showcasing our farmers, producers, and chefs? Then come celebrate the harvest at the 21st Annual Wine and Food Affair, presented by Wine Road. Advanced ticket sales only. Don't miss this unique opportunity to sample the beauty and best of what northern Sonoma County has to offer. The Wine Road's Wine and Food Affair. Discover more at wineroad.com.
I've been dreaming about a white kitchen for years. I had a vision in my head, but I didn't have all the details. The design team at American Kitchen Company pulled it out of my head and gave me the kitchen of my dreams.
At American Kitchen Company, our design process is very collaborative. I use my knowledge of what's trending in kitchen design based with the client's needs and come up with a space that exceeds their expectations. And if you like what we do with kitchens, you'll be amazed what we can do with the rest of your home.
American Kitchen Company gave us the best kitchen on the block.
We can decide to ignore it and act as if an earthquake will never happen. Or we can do something about it before it's too late. It's not a matter of if, but when. Now, with affordable coverage options, choose a policy that works for you. Protect your home with earthquake insurance. Learn more at earthquakeauthority.com.
Feel the thunder of jets. You're watching the Blue Angels live here on KRON 4.
Welcome back to Blue Angels Live. Ken Wayne along with Laura Einsetler. We're on the deck here at KRON 4 overlooking the Embarcadero. There's the Potomac out of the Port of Oakland, Franklin Roosevelt's old ship that is out on the bay, getting a wonderful view of what's going on out there. And Laura, we're going to be talking to a guest here in a minute that you're very familiar with.
Yeah, I'm honored to be able to call Sean D. Tucker, a friend of mine, back from the air show days. And now with Team Oracle, they've added Jessie Panzer, and she's incredible. So you'll see them perform their Sky Dance, and where they come together, come apart, do solos, and join back up. It's amazing.
That sounds a lot of fun. I got to fly with Sean Tucker a few years ago, and he's considered one of the best aerobatic pilots alive today. And not only that, he's just a kick in the pants to hang out with. He's yes. A very funny guy. I have a lot of stories about him. But first, we're going to go to Kate Rooney, who has a guest as well. Kate.
Hey, Ken. Hey, Laura. I'm joined right now by Bob Wood, the air show host narrator for United. We've already seen the United airliner fly once today. They're coming up again here in just about 20 minutes. And this is a really unique part of the air show because it's not every day you get to see a commercial airliner fly this low, fly this close.
It's so unusual to see a Boeing 777, 300 knots, 350 feet off the water. This is an off-the-shelf jumbo jet that may have just come back from Tokyo yesterday. We never really know. But it's something unique in the world. It's the first and only professionally choreographed air show demonstration by an airliner in the world.
Who is involved in choreographing that?
Well, one of our test pilots. We have United Airlines is the only airline that I know of that has an actual test pilot group, and some of them have been former United States Air Force Thunderbird pilots, Blue Angel pilots, and they actually designed the demonstration that we're seeing today.
Wow, so how is the pilot who performs in the air show today selected?
Well, they're just from the test pilot group. Of course, the former Blue Angels and Thunderbirds started the program. And then we just have other test pilots who've all been with the military, and they all have these capabilities, and I'm not really sure how they selected each individual one, but they've got the creme de la creme.
Can you describe some of the maneuvers that we see from this airliner?
Surprisingly, they're the standard maneuvers you would see any airliner, let's say, coming in for a landing. They're making a left turn, what we call a traffic pattern, to a low-speed pass with landing gear down in the slow landing configuration. We have a high-speed pass at 300 knots, and they're just climbing turns and banks, and it just looks impressive. When you take an airplane, 750,000 pounds gross weight, 300 knots off the water, it is impressive.
How do the heights, the highs and lows compare with what you experience as a passenger in a regular flight?
Well, I was a flight attendant for 28 years, and quite honestly, I've never quite experienced the slight G-forces they might be performing today. But overall, it's just a standard airplane doing some pretty swell stuff.
Okay, we're going to have that for you coming up here in a little bit of time. Bob Wood, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Back to you guys.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. And as you can see in the corner, we have Sean Tucker up there with the Oracle flight team. Sean is just a funny, fun-loving, and really talented performer.
Extremely talented. He truly is the best of the best, and that's what we all think, but also the Smithsonian Institute named him as the top 25 legendary aviators of all time.
Wow. And he is in the plane on the right, isn't he? He's in the single wing, not the...
He's in the dual wing,
the
Oracle
okay.
Challenger 3.
Okay, I said that because when I flew with him, it was in the single wing, so I thought that that would...
Jesse Panzer's in the extra.
Okay, so you said this is going to be a dance, an aerial dance.
Right. You can see them in formation right now, and so they come together. Right now they're doing a hammerhead maneuver, a dual together hammerhead maneuver, and they'll do formation flying, they'll split off, and then you'll see some incredible flying also from their solo acts. They also are very, I had a chance to formation fly with them the other day. It was such an honor for me because it's something that is really a dream come true for me to be able to fly formation with Sean Tucker.
Sure.
And of course the addition of awesome Jesse Panzer. And we got some amazing footage, and as you can see how close they're working toward bringing in, honing in, creating this sky dance that they're doing.
How far apart are they, do you think?
They are pretty close. I would say probably 4 feet or so. 4 to 5 feet would be.
How fast do you think they're going?
Well, when they're in formation, you know, they have to maintain the exact same airspeeds.
Right.
So, you know, they're constantly, the lead pilot sets the pace and the tone and the speeds, and then the wing woman, in this case, keeps the pace exactly just slightly below and behind.
They are talking to each other, I presume.
That's right.
Okay. But this is something that they map out before they even get in the aircraft. They talk about what they want to do, how they're going to do it, and then they go out and start practicing, right? So by the time they're doing this, they've been through this a lot.
There's so much preparation that goes into it because you have to be mentally fit to be able to pull plus 9 Gs, minus 7 Gs that Sean does in his centrifuge maneuver. And they physically walk the performance before every performance as well. So they both are really physically fit and mentally fit and well prepared.
Well, that's the other thing, that it's physically demanding. I mean, this really wears you out. This is like a huge physical workout to do this performance.
Right. Exactly.
And why is that? I mean, I've been in the plane, and you just, those G's, it's a lot of work just to kind of keep your head up sometimes because the G forces are pulling you down into your seat.
That's right. So you just have to know exactly kind of when to tighten up, kind of when to hold your breath, and the whole time they're looking outside at their different visual pictures. And, you know, as well, Sean is the head of the Young Eagles program. And we had a chance to take up the Nathan Del Rosario the other day. It's 100... Okay. And so, yeah, here they are just doing some roll maneuvers here, double rolling together.
Tell me again what the Young Eagles are. That's a program that tries to get kids interested in aviation. Is that what it is?
Absolutely. So there's been 55,000 volunteers who have taken up 2 million young aviators, future aviators, for a chance to fly.
This is our chance to try to get people into aviation. So there's a big demand right now for pilots, right?
Absolutely. Pilot shortage, mechanic shortage, aerospace, engineering, air traffic control.
So let's knock down some of those misconceptions about flying. A, that it's super expensive to become a pilot, and B, that it's really hard to become a pilot. And I'm sitting proof that you don't have to be super smart to be a pilot. I mean, if I can do it, I think anybody can be a pilot.
Well, everyone just needs to take a flying lesson and see if it's for you. So you can call call up your local flight schools and ask them, hey, I want an experienced, best instructor.
You know, it's funny that I've known pilots who are afraid of heights, which doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, well, you're encapsulated in these great airplanes, as you can see here. And, you know, the Oracle Challenger, that airplane is 1,200 pounds and can go 400 miles per hour. And so that specific type of propeller is a composite type propeller so that it handles what Sean dishes out there. And, of course, Jesse with the extra, that's also 1,200 pounds, has a Lycoming 540 engine. And they train and train and train together to be able to bring us this performance.
And they have to have special fuel injectors because you're flying upside down and gravity would normally take the gas away from getting into the engine if you're upside down from the carburetor. So they have special modifications to make sure that the engine's always running.
That's right. And we used to, every time the air traffic control would call us, we would go inverted because they can't see on the screen, are you inverted or are you actually upright?
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Due to KRON Force coverage of Fleet Week, today's regularly scheduled children's programming will air on Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4.
You're a person, not a credit score, but sometimes your score gets in the way of the things you want to do. That's why personal consumer loans through NetCredit are designed to fit real people. Borrow the amount you need, up to $10,000, and choose the repayment terms that work for you. With NetCredit, you may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan. Visit netcredit.com today.
Finally, some math you're really going to like. Xfinity Internet and Mobile, each for $30 a month. That equals awesome Wi-Fi from America's best internet provider and the best LTE on the go. It's the ultimate coverage solution. It's all in the numbers. With Xfinity Mobile, you'll save up to $800 a year on your wireless bill. You can even get $250 back. Don't miss out on Xfinity Internet and Mobile, each for $30 a month. Plus, save up to $800 a year on your wireless bill with Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity makes saving simple, easy, awesome. Click, call, or visit a store today.
Porcelanosa. Stylish design. Porcelanosa. Experience luxury. Porcelanosa. Unparalleled innovation. Porcelanosa. Large selection. Porcelanosa. Inspiration. For ultimate in tile, kitchen, bath, and hardwood design, Porcelanosa. Visit one of our showrooms today.
The best part about working at American Kitchen Company is building kitchens people love. It sounds simple, but we listen to our clients, take their dream, and make it a reality.
The best thing I like about American Kitchen Company is they took our vision and took it to the next level.
Our customers love our kitchen so much that they call us back and we end up doing the whole home.
American Kitchen Company gave us the best kitchen on the block.
If you want the best kitchen on the block, call American Kitchen Company.
Don't pass up 765 Beach Street in downtown San Francisco. Approximately 9,000 square feet of retail, gallery, showroom space, all available for lease. For more information, go to 765beach.com or contact Tom Christian, Cushman & Wakefield.
Welcome back to Blue Angels Live. Ken Wayne along with Laura Einsetler. We're going to be seeing the Blue Angels here in just a few minutes, but before we do that, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Young Eagles. Tell me about that.
That's right. So it's a program to take young aviators up flying, get them excited about aviation.
All right, here's an example. Take a look.
Let me tell you about the Young Eagles program. This is what it's all about. Nathan went flying with us. Man going. He's 11 years old. He got to fly with Jesse Penzer.
Nathan, how you doing? I'm doing great up here. He's doing great up there.
On a photo flight over downtown San Francisco.
Yeah, this is fun, huh? Yeah.
Then we did a little formation stuff.
It's a loop with a little bit of a roll in it. It's called a clover. Okay. And then we'll do a barrel roll and we'll get split up and do a hammerhead. What, we're doing a hammerhead? Uh-huh, you're gonna love it. Oh, man. What do you think? just squeeze and breathe. And that's the biggest G right there in a barrel roll, so that's no problem. Power.
He rolled it once, he rolled it twice.
And squeeze and breathe again. All right, how do you feel?
I kind of like barrel rolls.
And did you love this guy?
That was great.
Yeah, that was great.
How cool is that?
That's so cool. I'm sure little Nathan's not going to forget that ever.
So the whole point is if you want to grow up to be like Sean Tucker, which I do when I get big, I want to be Sean Tucker. You know, it's exposing kids to the whole world of aviation, that you can do it. Even if you don't want to be a pilot, you can still be a part of aviation in general. So it's very exciting.
That's right, exactly. So and they also have the Bob Hoover Academy for underserved and underprivileged children, to just get them motivated, have goals, excited to really succeed in life in their future.
Okay, Blue Angels getting closer. We're almost there. They're going to be performing here in a few minutes. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back.
More amazing aerobatics coming up on KRON 4's Blue Angels Live.
I've been dreaming about a white kitchen for years. I had a vision in my head, but I didn't have all the details. The design team at American Kitchen Company pulled it out of my head and gave me the kitchen of my dreams.
At American Kitchen Company, our design process is very collaborative. I use my knowledge of what's trending in kitchen design based with the client's needs and come up with a space that exceeds their expectations. And if you like what we do with kitchens, you'll be amazed what we can do with the rest of your home.
American Kitchen Company gave us the best kitchen on the block.
I'm Jeff Gannett, CEO of Macy's. Your Macy's store has been given a fresh look, and you are at the heart of it. Because you want more of what you love about Macy's. You want fashion that inspires you, help finding the perfect look, or the perfect gift. You want an experience that is more fun and more convenient. We're doing it all because Macy's is committed to our customers. And we're here to help find the remarkable you.
Our real estate expert, Suzanne Rocha, has been helping KRON 4 viewers for years. Buyers and sellers love Suzanne's unique and stress-free approach of selling in as-is condition, no for sale signs, no open houses, and no lock boxes to protect your pets.
I'm here to help you with relocating, upsizing, downsizing, a probate sale, a distressed property sale, liquidating a rental, a purchase, and just about any other real estate situation imaginable.
Visit calhomeinfo.com to get Suzanne working for you.
KRON 4's Blue Angels Live, brought to you by Vets in Tech, proud to support veterans into tech careers. Kitchen Fantastic, fall in love with your kitchen again. Macy's, America's store for life. A1 Guaranteed, proudly serving the Bay Area for over 20 years. Iron Horse, stylish home decor at affordable prices. Xfinity, stream fast and watch better with Xfinity. Porcelanosa, live beautifully. Now, back to the air show and Blue Angels Live.
Beautiful day in San Francisco. The Golden Gate Bridge, all the boats are parked, ready for the big show to start. We've had a lot of aircraft in the air all morning long into the afternoon, but of course the highlight, what everybody's waiting for, the FA-18 Hornets from the Blue Angels performance coming up in just a few minutes. So we're all pumped and we're geeking out on everything aviation.
That's right.
Trying to encourage people who are wondering if they're younger in life what they're going to do with their careers and stuff. Aviation is a good way to go, because there's a big demand right now for pilots and mechanics and a lot of people.
Everybody, air traffic controllers, coordinators, yeah.
If you like adventure, if you like travel, it's a good career.
Aviation's a place to be.
All right, let's check in now with Kate Rooney, who has another aviator. Kate.
Yeah, well, that's actually a perfect segue, guys, because I'm back with Lieutenant Commander David Gardner, the Blue Angels Public Affairs Officer. And it's not just the pilots who make this air show happen. There is really a huge team of people who make these possible. Tell me a little bit more about that.
That's right. So most of the time when people think Blue Angels, they think the 6 jets in the air, the smoke trails, and the maneuvers and all the pretty things that happen up in the air. What they don't see a lot of the time is everything that goes on behind the scenes to make those 6 jets fly, right? And so we like to highlight some of the efforts that our maintenance team does and all that stuff that happens that people don't really realize. So there are about 140 people on the Blue Angels right now. And as we speak, out in Oakland at the airport there where the Blue Angels are based, there are maintainers, there are logisticians, there are administrators, there are public affairs personnel. All out there being sure that the jets are ready to go, that everything is in order, and that those pilots, when they walk out to their jets and they can get in them, they trust 110% that those airplanes are ready to go, and they can hop in, strap in, and take them from 0 to full afterburner and come out here and put on the show. So it really is a full team effort, and it's really, really impressive to witness.
Thankful to have all those people helping us to enjoy this experience today. I do want to talk to you a little bit more about the actual jet, the FA-18 Hornet. How did this jet become the official vehicle of the Blue Angels?
Well, we transitioned into this jet in the late 80s, so we've been flying this aircraft for over 30 years. And at the time, this was the aircraft of choice for the Navy. This is a fighter attack aircraft, and we wanted to be sure that we were representing accurately naval aviation to the American public. And so we've been flying the jet for over 30 years. It's a great airframe, and the same jets you're going to see today were actually painted gray years ago, and they have been deployed. They have launched on and off aircraft carriers. They have done the work overseas. It's just that these aircraft are no longer able to do that mission. They still have flight hours on them, and the airframes are still strong. And so they come to us, and we give them a slight modification, paint them the pretty blue and gold that you see, and we come out here and put on a great show. We fly the remaining hours off of those aircraft, and then when they're at 0, they end up in a museum or on a pedestal someplace for people to enjoy.
Let's give the real aviation nerds something to enjoy. What are those modifications? What are you changing to take these jets from combat ready to air show ready?
Okay, so you'll notice a few of the obvious things. You know, the gray jets in the fleet don't have a smoke system, so on these jets, in order to make them easy to see in the sky and for the audience to follow, you'll see the white smoke come out the back at certain times throughout the show. So we take the gun, the machine gun, out of the aircraft, and that's replaced with a smoke tank, and that's how we're able to make the smoke. There's a little software upgrade that goes with this aircraft, as well as you'll notice on the wings there are no pylons. The pylons are the equipment that actually is installed to carry munitions. So since we're not delivering any ordnance with these aircraft, we take those off, and then of course the paint job.
Okay, well, we're going to see these in action here in just a few more minutes, and Lieutenant Commander Gardner will be back with us again to talk about what we're seeing. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Guys?
All right, Kate, thank you very much. Not only do we have the aircraft in the skies, we have a bunch of motorcycles on the street.
That's right.
It's pretty noisy out here. All right, let's see if we can get the shot. There it is, the United Airlines Boeing 777. Tell me a little bit about that plane. I can tell you right off the bat, since the landing gear is down, that's one of the easiest ways to identify that plane from any other aircraft. They call it Bigfoot because it has the extra set of tires underneath. So if you ever see a plane flying by with the extra set of tires that you see right there, 3 sets, it's a 777.
That's right, and this is the dirty pass that the test pilots are performing. I had a chance to fly in the 777 simulator with them a few days ago. So Scott Cardvet had coordinated. He was on the Blue Angels and on the Patriots jet team, and so
we're looking
we went
at the
through
simulator.
The profile.
Yeah, right here. This is the pictures from the simulator.
Right, and so they have the different passes that they're doing. It's Randy Abraham and John Mahwini, Ty Lautenheiser, and boss Joe Sobczak that's performing for you right now. They're going to be coming next and doing kind of a straight-on over-the-crowd pass at over 480 miles an hour. So it's so impressive.
That's almost the cruising speed, isn't it? That's about what they cruise at when they're on a...
You know, the 777 can go 0.89 Mach, and you know, that is about 560 miles per hour. hour. In cruise, the range is about 14 to 15 hours of flying.
This has become really the workhorse for international airlines, hasn't it? The 777.
The 777 is so versatile, and anybody can book a ticket on United Airlines and experience the Polaris seating that they have. It's an absolutely gorgeous aircraft, and all the customers love it.
And the engines on this thing, I understand, are special from other aircraft as well. They're a lot larger, but they're incredibly fuel efficient and quieter.
Yes, they're very quiet. You can, as the 777 goes by, you can barely hear it, but they're 115,000 pounds of thrust each engine. So very powerful, can get you up and going to any destination of your choice, Ken.
And we had the United spokesman on a few minutes ago with Kate, and he was saying that this is really a unique thing in air shows, period, to have a giant commercial airliner kind of doing these flyovers during an air show. Looks like he's going into a big
That's
climb.
the climbing maneuver. They can pitch up to as high as 30 degrees pitch. And in the aerobatic box that is right there along the bay, they can go as fast as 300 knots or 480 miles an hour, we said. And the next pass, they'll be coming around and they'll be showing the belly of the aircraft.
Its science is amazing because how do you get a plane that weighs, what do you say, 750,000 pounds?
Yeah,
how do you get something like that to fly?
It's aerodynamics and the Venturi effect.
Like, how do you get a 90,000-ton aircraft carrier to float? I mean, it's basic science is phenomenal. It's amazing that this works the way it does.
That's right. It's a beautiful thing to see. And, you know, the pilots at United are all, you know, ALPA, the Union Airline Pilots Association, you know, as you know, Ken, in aviation, the first line of safety always starts with highly experienced and well-trained pilots. And at United Airlines, you know, the pilots train in those full motion simulators that are lifelike, and they're trained by other actual line pilots. So that's why they can keep the safety standard as high as they do.
You know, the simulators are so amazing today because, you know, I'm just on a commercially available, you know, Windows X simulator, Wings, all those different programs, so you can just load into your computer. Like when I wanted to fly to Catalina one time, I'd heard these horror stories about how the runway has a hump in it, and it's very deceptive. When you come in, you think the runway's shorter than it really is, and people have hit the brakes when they didn't have to, and those kinds of things. So on the simulator, I flew to Catalina, and when I actually flew there for real, there were no surprises because the simulator told me what to expect. It's pretty amazing.
That's great.
All right, as we watch the Boeing 777 fly over the Golden Gate Bridge, we are now just moments away from the Blue Angels taking flight. We're going to see them when we come back. Stay with us.
Don't go anywhere. You have the best seat in the house. More Blue Angels Live coming up on KRON 4.
Could you be tempted to enjoy 2 days of tasting exceptional world-class wines from over 80 local wineries, paired with locally grown produce, showcasing our farmers, producers, and chefs? Then come celebrate the harvest at the 21st Annual Wine and Food Affair, presented by Wine Road. Advanced ticket sales only. Don't miss this unique opportunity to sample the beauty and best of what Northern Sonoma County has to offer. The Wine Road's Wine and Food Affair. Discover more at wineroad.com.
It drifts into our lives. Exposing us to risk we never asked for. To some, it may seem harmless. But there's no such thing as safe secondhand smoke.
It's the dawn of a new day. Will today be like any other? Or a day that turns our world upside down? No one really knows. Because after a damaging earthquake, the dawn we woke up to this morning could look completely different come tomorrow. Protect your home with earthquake insurance from the California Earthquake Authority. Learn more at earthquakeauthority.com.
The Red and Gold Zone, a weekly look into everything Niners.
You will go through rough patches. You got to deal with it.
The Red and Gold Zone, tonight at 9 on KRON 4.
A generation of young people in the Haight-Ashbury waved a rebellious flag in the face of mainstream America and tried to create a new world order.
San Francisco's Summer of Love, tonight at 7 on KRON 4. Brought to you by Energy Upgrade California. Keep it golden.
KRON On, always local, always on. Download KRON On today.
Due to KRON 4's coverage of Fleet Week, today's regularly scheduled children's programming will air on Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4. Welcome back to the fastest show in town. You're watching the Blue Angels live here on KRON 4.
Welcome back to Blue Angels Live as we watch the Boeing 777 fly over San Francisco Bay, and we are now moments away from the Blue Angels taking center stage here, and we're going to watch them perform here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we want to talk about the aircraft that the Blue Angels fly and what they really do when they're not doing air shows, which is combat fleet operations.
That's right.
Have you been on an aircraft carrier before?
I have. Not working on it, but having a chance to check it out and see all of the amazing aspects of it.
Right. So we want to show you some pictures of carrier operations involving FA-18s, and there are, I'm trying to remember how many aircraft carriers there are left in the U.S. Navy, about a dozen or so. I was in the Navy for 6.5 years, and I did 2 6-month-long deployments in the Mediterranean with different aircraft carrier battle groups. I was on a guided missile destroyer, but I flew over to the carrier quite a bit and actually did one carrier launch and landing in a Navy passenger cargo plane called a C-12, I believe. It's the Greyhound. The Greyhound.